So we move on to the Superman and Wonder Woman finale. Superman and Wonder Woman facing off against two different kinds of suns. One a god, one a alien.
One a tyrant.
Yeah, one a tyrant. Yeah. Maybe they're both tyrants. Oh my god, that was the message all along. They're all
What if the
evil.
sun? What if the sun is bad?
What if this sun bad? Sun give us cancer. Sun bad.
Sun bad, moon good.
Everyone, let's get on twitter.com and hashtag sunbad.
Hang on, I'm gonna go tweet it right now.
Hashtag sunbad, cancel the sun. Make sure when you tweet it, just say, Superman, Wonder Woman taught me that the sun is bad. Hashtag sunbad, cancel sun.
Hang on, I'm tweeting it right now.
I'm
Hang on.
doing it right now. And while you tweet that, yep, so the finale to Superman, Wonder Woman. So,
Did it.
you did it? Oh, fucking hell, now I'm gonna actually look at this now.
There you go.
Hashtag sun bad, moon good, the real lesson of Superman, Wonder Woman. Amazing. Now that is art.
Base and happen.
Yep, so Superman, Wonder Woman, they're in kind of they've put themselves in a predicament. Superman has to fight Solaris, but the problem is Solaris is also emitting red sunlight, which John loses his powers or gets really weakened because of that. So he can't predict, and he's promised to fight Solaris. So it's kind of predicament there. And at the same time,
meanwhile, Wonder Woman's fighting Kuat, right?
Yep.
Sun God.
yep, she's because he has an ego. Not she, because he has an. Well, technically they both have some varying degree of egos, but because the Sun God has an ego, he has agreed to a race with Wonder Woman. And the problem is she can't control her steed. So they decide, why don't we just swap places? Like, John pulls out a fucking huge atomic energy gun out of a black hole. Which will
Fuck it.
Fuck it. And gives it to Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman goes to face off against Solaris, and Superman goes on the race against the Sun God. Superman wins by essentially cheating.
Because Wonder Woman shoots energy into Solaris to turn him into a blue sun.
Yep. Meaning
so he gets his energy back, and he can just fly around Pluto.
Yeah. So they defeat both. They stop the Sun God. They stop Solaris, and that's it. It's day saved, and they hang out. It was okay.
Yeah, it was. It had the most definitive conclusion out of all the books.
Probably of all the future states so far, it had the most definitive end. Like, I don't see how that it does not leave it open ended for a conclusion. It just
ends.
It just ends and does a good job of it. I mean, the story was fine. It's not.
It's a B.
It's B minus for me.
There's some weird faces. It's weirder than Joelle Jones's faces in the last issue.
Del Luca, I think there are parts where the art is really good. Like when Yara shoots the fucking gun, that art there looks amazing. But then you look at some of the faces, and it's just like, man, I didn't know John's a racist and doing yellow face all the time. Like,
wow.
John legitimately looks Asian. Like
John Kent, hashtag race criminal.
Race criminal. Keenan Kong walked so John could be racist.
Oh no!
No, but he does. For some reason, John looks Asian.
Where is the Justice League of China, anyways?
We don't talk about them.
They're not Batman.
Yeah, well, one of them is. One of them is just not the. He's just not the.
He's Chinese knockoff Batman, so he doesn't count.
That's a bit of a redundant statement. You just mean Chinese Batman.
That's fair.
But yeah, no. A lot of the faces here look so weird. Like, for example, like there's a there's a part where Yara has her face like tilted. She's looking up at the right, but like her mouth, her nose, her eyes are all pushed to the left. So there's like a considerable amount of space, a lot of space just left on like the right side of her face. I'm just like, yeah, Del Luca, you aren't particularly the best when it comes to faces. There's a lot of just weird faces, and John doing yellow face. The art was just like, for the majority, it was good. Just apart from the faces, which doesn't help when we see it a lot. We see the faces a lot in this book.
They're really close up. There's a lot of very uncomfortably close
there's some
faces.
Weird close-ups with some weird looking faces. Just like, John, stop committing a hate crime. But one thing I got out of this is John's speech after he pulls the gun out of the black hole, like why he has a black hole in the Fortress of Solitude. And the whole thing is that there was a dimension that was going to be a world that was going to be collapsed into this black hole.
Didn't Ryan Choi help him with that?
Yeah, he says Ryan Choi helped him like contain it, so that
that was a neat little. I thought that was a neat little call to the Atom.
Yeah,
so
it was nice. So yeah, Ryan Choi helped him contain it, but the problem is
they couldn't afford Brandon Routh, so they went with the other one.
he's too busy being Kingdom Come Superman for like 2 episodes, and then just being Ray Palmer for the rest. Oh wait, well he's not there anymore. He left, so he made the smart decision.
Yeah, they couldn't afford him.
They couldn't afford him. Man, Brandon Routh, well, could have been a good Superman, but you won the CW. Unfortunate. But
that sounds like a you problem.
It sounds like a you problem, yeah. But yes, so the world is still stuck in the pull of this black hole. There are times when they can stop it by purposely as they say, overfeed the black hole so that the gravitational pull stops for a certain amount of time, and at 10:30 every day John has to go and make sure that the gravitational pull resets to that part where it doesn't pull the world in. And he says he has to do this because he's Superman. Like, we look out for everyone, and like literally everyone, and he believes that the world can't sustain itself without a Superman, which is why he does all of this. And I'm just like, why couldn't we get this Superman in Superman of Metropolis?
I guess this is supposed to be like him at his best, rather than like, you know, when he's a dumbass in like his 20s. This is like him in his 30s or 40s, so he's finally figured out like how to be a good Superman.
Yeah, not to be an idiot, but
not to trust Brainiac.
Yeah, and you know, he the weight of the world on his shoulders because he is Superman, and he understands that, and but still goes with it, which is a nice little touch at the end with like Yara now helps him with that situation, you know, allow John to have like a break from all of that. You know, it doesn't have to be Superman 24/7. So it was a nice.
I do think John and Yara are like the oddly the most fleshed out dynamic in the entire Future State.
Yeah, surprisingly, yeah, for a story that's only 2 issues.
I'm glad they kind of took that invested the time needed to make them feel like a fleshed out, not a couple, but like, you know, a duo.
Yes, a pseudo New World's Finest, essentially.
Yeah,
because
the Brave and the Bold.
You're definitely not going to get it with Superman and Batman in Future State, because they're not even friends.
They don't even know each other.
They hardly know each other. So it makes much more sense, like, which, you know, Justice League also continues. He's more friendly with Yara than everyone else, because obviously they have history, and this kind of shows it now.
And I'm glad they took the time to flesh it out. So and it feels like when you read Justice League, it's a lot more rewarding.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Speaking of Jace, Punish Bruce time.
Punished Bruce time. But before we get to Punish Bruce, Jacob asks, speaking of, wonder what happened to Adam and Frost. Haven't seen them since the JLA book. They suffered from a very rare disease in comic books called They're Not Batman.
They also suffered from a disease called The Writer Doesn't Like Them.
Yeah. They suffered from a third disease, unfortunately called Steve Orlando.
AKA, you're either really good or really bad.
Yep, you're either really good or really bad. And Jacob then adds, people still think Damien's going to be Red X. I haven't been keeping up with the books. I think that seems to be the most obvious choice, that Damien is Red X.
I think I'm the one from the one from Teen Titans Future State.
Yeah.
Do you care about spoilers, Jacob?
I mean, you came to the stream, so we're spoiling everything.
Actually, that's a good point. It's Roy Harper, I think.
Oh, it's Roy Harper. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're gonna talk about Roy at the end with Infinite Frontier. Yeah. I got things to say about that. So it's Roy Harper of all people. Oh, okay.
That's what I took away from it.
That's underwhelming.
You know what really sucked is that they had like some of the best art is in Teen Titans Future State. I read that while your internet was out, so.
But it's just a so-so book.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob said.
Also, they use the fucking H dial as a Ouija board.
Jacob says Roy's another kind of obvious choice. To be honest, I would not have picked Roy. I would not have a lineup of who could be Red X. It's Roy. I think everyone was dead set it's Damien, considering Damien's not Robin anymore, and he's just I'm edgy. I'm edgy again.
I think it's Roy.
Oh no, beforehand, before the whole pseudo reveal, I don't think anyone would have picked Roy was going to be Red X. I think everyone was dead set.
I'm just trying to figure out whether or not it actually is Roy.
Yeah.
How did it come to this? Our terrible bankrupt ideas.
Considering his history's Arsenal and that Red Hex has always been associated with the Titans, that then you could honestly pick any member of the Titans could possibly be Red X. Hey, it could be Dick Grayson.
It was weird. I'm going off a mini tangent, but what's the point of having him take off his mask if you're not going to definitively tell us who it is? Because they don't say it. It's just inference. So
I mean, at least when they did it with Arkham Knight and Tomasi Detective Comics, they took the mask off and we showed, oh look, it's actually a woman, and Damien's who are you? Subverting expectations that it was actually someone that we knew, but it wasn't. It was essentially, for all intents and purposes, a new character. Which I was okay with, because if they just went with the Jason route again, it just would be
you don't think an Arkham Knight can be a woman?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, my sexism is showing. I'm just
you fucking misogynist.
I'm just so pissed off that John decided to do Yellowface.
I'm so mad that John decided to override a Superman that already exists.
Yeah. Roy's the only one that went full-blown edgelord other than Raven whenever Daddy shows up.
Well, also Wally.
Wally.
Because of Heroes in Crisis.
Yeah. Well, he went more than full-blown edgelord. He went to full-blown murderer.
Yeah. Alright. Rant over. Okay.
Moving on from Heroes in Depression, we're moving on to Punish...
Sorry, just okay.
We're moving on to Punished Bruce, Dark Detective issue number 3. So basically, Bruce is still doing more detective stuff. Of course, obviously, it's called Dark Detective. We would expect him to do detective stuff, and he's investigating another death which might have a similar motive to why he was targeted by Peacekeeper and the Magistrates, and he deduces is that Magistrate are killing off people that have some sort of control over Gotham because they want essentially absolute control. They want full control over Gotham, so they're essentially getting rid of the other competitors or other rivals that they view as.
Like defense contractors.
Yeah, like defense contractors. They want to be the only thing that exists, the only form of defense, security, and all that. And it seems to be working. A lot of people just essentially kind of trust the magistrate for the most part. Bruce is investigating this. He runs into Exaggerated Swagger, the next Batman.
For like 1 page!
For 1 page. And I'm actually fine with that, because the cover for the issue shows them together. Like, it's going to be this big confrontation, because that's what it's implying. That's what the cover implies. It's going to be this big confrontation of like,
and then he's like there. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
I'm
essentially
doing detective work.
Yeah,
fuck off. Okay.
Essentially, like,
nah.
they imply that it's going to be like the old guard versus the new guard. Like, they're going to butt heads. They're going to fight each other. But it's essentially just like, what are you doing? I'm doing my own thing. Why do you care? You better not. You better stay home tonight. It's like, yeah, that's what I would say to you. Like, I'm actually fine with that, because that would have just been so cliche that it would have been tiring to have them just like a 5-page fight scene and then they just go their own ways again. So yeah, I guess I don't know. It's like, why did they make such a big fucking deal out of it if they were just gonna have that like 1 page of them interacting? And also, this is Bruce's book, so I don't want anything to do with Batman who can't pick a fucking name for himself.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, it's fine, I guess.
It was a nice little subverting of expectations. A good subverting of expectations, not Rian Johnson subverting expectations.
Unless it's Knives Out, Rian Johnson.
No, well, that one is just mixed.
Okay. Anyways, Bruce goes back to his gamer rig.
Yes, he does. Does a bit more investigating and realizes that the person associated with the crazy man that he lives with might have some connections to the magistrate somehow.
And then he's got the guys up on the roof interrupting aliens. Like, he's got a signal blocker thing. Yeah.
And realizes he might actually be picking up like essentially like magistrate comms, like surveillance and all of that. And then I do
like that, like, Bruce's paranoia is actively hurting the relationship between the landlord, between his, I guess, roommate and his daughter.
Yeah.
But then he turns out he was justified in doing it anyways.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, thank God, I was worried that you were cutting out again.
No.
So yeah, Bruce.
Yeah, Jacob is saying. Jacob, I think it's just your end, because I've got it up here. It looks fine.
Okay.
Yeah, he was saying like it crashed again, and I was just like, oh fuck me, no. No, I think it's just your end. Okay, all good. Okay, all good. But yes, you were saying.
So Bruce does some actual detective work in a book called Dark Detective.
Yes.
And then Bruce realizes they're all in the sky.
Yeah, literally, Magistrate has like miniature, like has nano drones, surveillancing everyone in Gotham. They have like millions of eyes in the sky seeing everything. So you can't get you for the most part you can't get away with anything in this.
So this is Gotham. So this is what the Patriot Act. This is what the Patriot Act ends up with.
Pretty much, yeah.
Base CIA.
Base CIA. But for the story, I'd give it a B minus. I think it was okay.
I'm gonna be a bit nicer. I'm gonna give it a B, just a flat B.
Jacob is asking, how is Tamaki's writing on this book? She-Hulk level of bad, or does her detective run coming up actually has hope for it? Actually,
I've got hope for it.
Actually, the latter. This is unironically probably some of Tamaki.
Solid Batman writing.
It's solid. It's solid stock Batman writing, as we've always said. It's nothing new. It's just the same old Batman stuff.
She is good at like writing. Unironically, she is actually pretty good at writing conventional Batman. Like, you know, I'm guarantee once we get into like actual Detective Comics, you'll see like that she fits neatly into like the Tony S. Daniels style Batman, or not Morrison. Who was the run before Morrison? Shit. I'm trying to remember who the writer was before Morrison.
Detective Comics.
But she fits well into like the post Miller style Batman writer. She is actually unironically very good at that particular niche of writing.
Let's see, main Detective Comics or Batman?
Just Batman in general.
Just Batman in general.
I don't want to say like Chuck Dixon, but like she's in that like Dennis O'Neil type of camp. Not necessarily in terms of quality, but in terms of like the writing style.
Okay, yeah, Jake. I don't know who was before Morrison, but yeah, it's surprisingly been actually interesting. Like I went in this with
Doug Mowing.
I went in this with low expectations because it's Tamaki. What I've read of Tamaki is not good. She-Hulk was fucking terrible. And it's not even out, and I Am Starfire is terrible. Just from the concept alone and what we've seen, it looks terrible. But like, I'm genuinely surprised with Dark Detective. Depending, and I've said with the first and second issues, even if this is like decent, I probably won't pick up her first issue. I might actually change my mind. Depending on how this last issue goes, I might actually continue Detective Comics. But we'll have to see. We're going to see how the final issue ends.
Yeah, and then I guess, do we want to talk about the backups a whole lot, or just kind of brush over them? Because one of them is basically a follow-up on the Grifter storyline.
There was only the Grifter one in this one, wasn't there?
Is there? I thought there was another one.
If I find...
I guess there. I think. Yep. Wait, I was wrong. It's just the Grifter one.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Grifter does stuff. There's more fucking Halo weapon traces. I'm not kidding. I sent it to.
No. Yeah. I saw it. It's not good. So, anyways, Dave Rubin and Huntress fight off the Magistrate.
Pretty much. Yeah. So, okay, I've got it. Window capture here.
The Huntress outfit is god awful.
Yeah, so the quality doesn't look particularly good here, but like literally the weapons that they are holding are Spartan lasers from Halo 3.
Disguised like assault rifles,
but
with a fucking barrel on the end. I think.
Yeah, with a barrel at the end, and they're holding them like assault rifles. Yeah, it does not look good. Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, the Grifter one, I don't even care.
Isn't it great that like Perch found our tweets and was like, yeah.
Yeah. That's not good. Yeah, so the Grifter one, but the main Dark Detective was good. It was good. I liked it. So
not worth $7.99.
I have a little bit of high hopes for the finale, because there is now a little bit of me that wants to see how she writes Batman in main continuity. Because remember, this is alternate timeline continuity, future timeline. There's going to be differences because it could be
vastly different from alternate timeline to mainline continuity.
Yeah.
Same with Ram V and Future State Catwoman.
Yeah. Oh, I just remembered we didn't even talk about Justice League Dark. Justice League Dark, it doesn't matter. Like literally, it ends on a cliffhanger. Like literally, Dr. Fate pulls a Doctor Strange. It's like, I look through every possible future, and this is the only one where we win. He literally does that.
Isn't that just from Infinity War?
I think so. Yeah. He literally does. It's just like this helmet. The helmet now has the ability to let me see every future, every potential future, and I only saw one where we win. I'm just like, this is literally just fucking Doctor Strange from Infinity War. Justice League Dark, that wasn't good, which is unfortunate because usually Ram V is,
he delivers typically, but this is like a disappointment for me.
Yeah. But yeah, Dark Detective was good. I'm hoping the finale is good as well.
Oh, how? What if we get? Do we want to talk about the Red Hood book that's being, or the Future State Gotham one that's been solicited?
Oh yes, Future State Gotham. Yeah. So guys, remember how Red Hood got a side story with some shitty fucking looking art? Well, guess what? It's back with the exact same artist.
For an ongoing, I think it's an ongoing anthology, isn't it?
It's an ongoing anthology. So,
Gee.
I'll share my screen.
Anthology book, last 6 issues.
It will, yeah. So this is
it.
Future State Gotham, which is going to be co-written by Williamson and Culver, I think it is.
Yeah.
Williamson and Culver. Yep, as Jacob said, ongoing gets canned at issue 12. Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. So this is following the stories of Jason's siding with the magistrate. So this is a prequel to his Future State side story, his backup. So he gets
sell out.
Yeah, he sells out to the magistrate and goes on to hunt other vigilantes. And
he's a cuck for the government.
I feel like, honestly, someone from DC is watching these streams, or at least the YouTube videos, and makes notes of when we say there is so much context that is missing, because I feel like this is what it is. This is the missing context from the Red Hood backup story.
Out to the government.
Yeah, I feel like this is the missing context. But will we read it? No, because the fucking art is terrible.
Which sucks because like he's done good art before, but it's like I don't give a shit.